everybody! Welcome back. We won the last run, but my brain was not in the Isaac space. I was talking too much about 90 Day Fiancé. Okay, time to reset yourself and recenter yourself. 1 JVM GG90. In theory, we should be able to go to that curse room. All we gotta do is not get hit on the way out, but it's a calculated risk. We don't want it to be a miscalculated risk. Anyway. I was talking about, dude, how many times? This feels like, I know I've started and stopped 12 sentences here, to begin with. This feels like we have had quad shot on Lost runs, like, quite regularly lately. It's a recurring theme. It's a recurring theme. I don't mind it, don't get me wrong. Quad shot, you know, there's a little bit of controversy maybe over quad shot because it lowers your rate of fire. But I think for me personally, quad shot is a gimme. Triple shot is a sometimes item. Anyway. Excuse me, sir. Can I tell you, so like, yes, I've been watching 90 Day Fiancé. This episode's not going to be a 90 Day Fiancé episode, mostly because I haven't seen enough of it to really feel compelled to, you know, talk about it any more than I already have. It's just there's like one striking bit per episode that just is unfathomable to me. But anyway, so we got a smart TV. Every TV I've previously owned in my entire life has been dumb. Some of them very dumb. What was the dumbest TV I ever owned? Well, I never owned this one, but one day I came home from school in like, I don't know, it was probably like 1997. And there were like 4 incredibly burly dudes lifting an enormous box into my grandparents' living room. And I said, "Grandpa, what the heck's happening here?" And he said, "Oh, I bought a big screen TV." You know, he retired. So back in the day, if you wanted to get a big screen TV, this isn't like we have a 55-inch TV. It probably weighs under 10 pounds right now. I can pick it up. I can move it. I might even be able to throw it up in the air and catch it without breaking it. But I wouldn't want to do it because, it's still a pretty expensive purchase. But back in the day, you had to get like a team of dedicated professionals if you wanted a big screen TV. What are these rooms? It was 64 inches, I think. 63 or 64. It was his pride and joy. And it was one of those TVs that, like, if you weren't alive back in the day, you wouldn't understand, okay? But it was one of those TVs where the back of it was like 4 feet long. Like, it didn't sit flush against your wall. You're like, okay, put it over there. And then the screen would jut out, like, you know, maybe not 4 feet, but at least 2 or 3 feet from the wall, because there were all sorts of components back there. I don't even know what the components were doing, but all sorts of components back there, making sure the TV could actually function without, you know, going supernova and melting a hole through your living room floor. The picture, I bet the resolution on it was 480. It's very hard for me to go back, like, mentally and check, because at the time I was like, it's bigger, so it's like photorealistic. But it definitely was not. No thank you, I guess. And then on top of that, consider yourself blessed if you didn't live through this era of television, at least in this one aspect. If you sat, like, at the perfect angle to the television, it looked pretty good. If you sat to the left or right of the television, it looked worse, like dimmer. And if you sat a little bit too far to the right or left, you couldn't see the television. Like, you could see the television, but the picture didn't display. Like, the way that the light hits the screen, it only actually presents a picture to you if you're sitting within, like, you know, 30 degrees on the front of it. So you know, we've come a long way, is all I'm trying to say. And I mean, to be fair, they were probably doing the best with what they had back then. But, you know, now, We bought a 55-inch TV. I picked it up and brought it inside, and it was not a problem at all. Like, it's just, you know. And then, hey, you could be almost behind it and still see it. It's amazing. It's like the difference between a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy Advance SP. It's got that backlight technology. Ah! This is a tough one for me because I don't want to use the Joker card for no reason. Okay, we're safe. It would have given us some preservation, but I think it's better. No! Okay, we're safe. Thank God that you needed some reaction time on that one. This is the all-important moment. Dude, honestly, I don't think we could take it. And that, it bums me out because it's actually like a great thing to take to get Deal with the Devil precedent. But I think that it's just too risky. It adds too much uncertainty into the situation. These, on the other hand, are pretty freaking solid. So anyway, we got a smart TV. And I'm learning that a lot of the things that make a TV smart, I actually, as a human being, think are pretty dumb. So, first off, in order to activate the television, I had to make an account and log in to their website, which then, after I verified my purchase and credentials, allowed me to download an app. And then after downloading the app, I gained such incredible features as the ability to bring up a virtual television remote on my phone. It's amazing, you know? Instead of using a device specifically designed to navigate through the menus of a television system, we've oversimplified it. We've simplified it, let me rephrase. Tired of having a one-purpose box in your house? Well, we've made things much more convenient. All you need to do is, first off, have a smartphone, which, you know, requires you having a phone contract. Okay, that's step one. Everybody's already got one of those. You're being needlessly reductive. Okay, maybe I am. Then, you know, go download an app. Anytime you want to change the channel, all you got to do is you hit the lock button on your phone to unlock it, enter your numeric passcode, close whatever app you presently had open the last time you closed your phone, navigate to your home screen, find the icon for your television remote, open it, wait for it to load, and then you can turn the volume down. Ah, but NL, you're forgetting. What about batteries, dummy? You want to spend your life savings on AAA batteries to run your TV remote? No, instead I'd rather just plug my television remote into the wall every night and drain electricity straight from the freaking grid. You got me. Wall electricity is free. Anyway. I'm not really mad, and I did download it and use it, but I only did it ironically, okay? I will say, though, it is nice to have a, I say nice, I want to be clear, not essential. But it is nice to have a TV with integrated Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc., etc. Because previously, we've been using, you know, game consoles for it. It works fine, mostly, but like, you know, I'm embarrassed to admit, but we've been using the Wii U a lot for it, because that's like the only device that, in this place, had stayed in our living room, because, I mean, like, the PS4, sometimes I'll need it to stream with, you know, if a new David Cage game has come out, for example. And the Switch, I don't even believe has Netflix access yet, even though it is a much more portable system, so we could move it much more easily. So we've been using the Wii U for it. And the Wii U, look. I think we're going to dig a little deeper. It's not bad. We're going deep on this one. I don't know if we got the best item. Maybe. I mean, I don't think 99 bombs matters when you have at least enough bombs to keep functioning, so I don't feel bad about that. I don't know. Maybe we did get the best item there. Euthanasia is potentially good, but also, you know, a bit of a question mark. This would be a great time to get, well, either of these items, so I think we're actually going to go here. And then maybe we'll find a better spacebar item later. Regardless, though, it's nice to have it just integrated into the system, I'll admit. But I want to be clear, there's a big difference between, you know, some technological leaps are quantum. You know, just by the existence of this technology is such an obvious improvement over the previous, you know, generations that I'm not saying like you absolutely have to have it, but there's a big reason to upgrade. And then some of them are like, you don't really need to do that. You know what I mean? As we go down to the next floor, let me caffeinate a little. I'll go a little deeper. For example, Wii to Wii U, that's a skippable generation upgrade. Wii U to Switch, actual, technologically maybe not that big of a difference, but in terms of, well, slightly, but in terms of first party library, absolutely. Curved 3D televisions, I believe that's skippable if you've already got a flat screen. Don't hurt me, please. That was so close, brother. Probably got one more. Get your adrenaline set. Oh my god, we're free. Going from 1080p to 4K, I think that's, you know, is it worth buying another television? Probably not, because, you know, the thing is, once you go, you can't go backwards. You know what I mean? You might as well, if you're looking at your own TV and you're going, this is fine. My personal philosophy, wait for the upgrade as long as possible. Because you're already at like a base level of happiness. You know? You'll probably, when you buy a new TV, if it's substantially higher quality, you'll be like, oh my god, the picture quality is amazing. But then, you know, realistically in like, you know, a couple of weeks, you'll probably just get used to it. And if I asked you how you feel about your current TV, you're going to be like 7 out of 10. If I ask how you feel about your new TV after like, you know, a couple months of using it, you're probably going to be like 7 out of 10. I don't think it's a, you know, a you issue. I think it's just the human mind, you know? We expect our enjoyment to scale linearly with the quality of things, but actually there's a much more nebulous sort of spiritual calculation happening behind the scenes, you know? I think, at least. You expect if you eat a 10 out of 10 food, it'll be that much better than if you ate like a 7 out of 10 food. But really, sometimes even when you're eating a 10 out of 10 food, you're like, I could really go for some chicken McNuggets right now. You think there will ever come a time... dude, I just want to not be hit once at the start of every room anymore. You think there will ever come a time when McDonald's will rebrand the chicken McNuggets to be just chicken nuggets? Because I'm telling you, dude, I think actually we want Book of the Dead. That's my 2 cents here. I'm telling you, I mean, I don't really eat. I mean, I do eat. That's a ridiculous sentence. What I was going to say is I don't really eat McDonald's, but that's not really true. Sometimes I will get like a Caesar salad from McDonald's. Yeah, I know it's not the best salad for you, but, you know, it's a good intersection of delicious and also having a good micronutrient profile, you know? Maybe I did go to the item room on this floor? Maybe I didn't. We're going to try to figure it out nonetheless. Kind of a whiff on the Hagalas there, but... okay, well, we definitely did not come this way. But, you know, Kate gets chicken nuggets sometimes. If we're going through the drive-thru, for example, I'm in the driver's seat. I just hit them with the, can I get a 6-piece number 8, please? I don't, because it's not, I don't think it's beneath me, but the older I get, the weirder I feel about ordering a food with a joke name. Like, they're not McNuggets. They're chicken nuggets made by McDonald's. I know that sounds like a needless delineation. Perhaps you would see it that way, but I don't know. It's like, you know, I tell this story all the time because it made a pronounced impact on me. When we were in the Oakland airport in 2014, you know, we had to eat at the airport Chili's because it was the only thing that was open. And I was like, okay, they got chicken tenders on the menu. When I ordered them, I had to swallow my pride and say, can I have the zesty chicken flingers? And I don't know if I've ever recovered from that moment. I think it's left me with a certain amount of, you know, latent trauma that I desire, if possible, to not put myself through. So you know, if you're at a little bit of a nicer restaurant, you want to sound cool, you never order what it says on the menu. You always give it a nickname, like you and the entree are old friends, you know? If it's like, oh, a panko encrusted lamb chop with a rosemary chimichurri infused glaze, you don't say, I'll have the panko encrusted lamb chop. You go, I'll have the lamb, please. And they go, very good, sir. Also, could you please take off your baseball cap? This is a nice establishment. You never, if you order off the menu, it tips your hand. You're like a restaurant cop. You're a secret shopper or something like that. Hold on, we got the Emperor card. And it's an XL floor. So this is a good boss rush potential. And I think I'm a little worried about Book of the Dead creating exploding minions. But I also appreciate what we got going on here. I mean, it's a pretty good start. Anyway, I've forgotten what I was talking about. Suffice it to say, you know, like I've never, you know, anytime we've moved into a place before, it's never really been our place. This is our place. So we got all this new stuff and I'm figuring it out. We got a security system. That's like a new one for me. And it's so cool. When the guy comes over and installs it, it makes you feel like you're a secret agent, you know? He's like, so, sir, please enter the code that you'll use to disable your alarm system. I enter the code. And then he says, all right. Next, please enter a code that if you're kidnapped or held hostage and somebody forces you to enter a code, you could enter this code and the authorities will immediately be dispatched. And I was like, oh my god. I am not nearly important enough for that. I've never had a silent alarm before. I thought that was like a Jodie Foster panic room sort of thing. You could just everyday people can have access to that? That's crazy. So obviously I made that one number off for my original one so I could remember it easily. I don't foresee it causing any problems. I'll just don't enter the wrong code, dummy. Hello, officer. It's wild, man. It's also, I personally guarantee I'm gonna end up accidentally calling the cops on myself. That's how you know I'm a boomer. Trust no one, not even yourself. Cause like, you know, you can, it's again the same situation as the smart remote. You can disable the alarm with your phone, but you only get like 20 seconds to do it after you've, you know, breached the point of contact. So I personally guarantee at least once either Kate or myself is gonna get the police phoned on us. It's so needlessly complicated, you know? Back when I was a kid, you just had a fence. And then if somebody broke into your house, robbed you, murdered you, etc., the cops came 20 to 30 minutes later and said, well, looks like there's nothing we can do. And then your case ended up going on Unsolved Mysteries 10 years later and inspiring nightmares in a generation of the nation's youths. Nowadays, you got all these security protocols and it's the who's it's and the what's nows and etc., etc. I'm being facetious, of course. You know what's weird though? Like, I've been talking about like American TV because we get more American TV channels. I will go to bat for American TV, okay? I like, if we're doing power rankings of countries' televisions that I know, like because I speak English, America's #1, okay? Yeah, they've got some garbage, but every country has some garbage TV. And they've also got some of the best television programs ever made, at least in the English language that I'm aware of, right? #2 would probably be United Kingdom. You got some stinkers. You got a lot of exploitative TV, game shows that I don't even understand. Not Countdown. Countdown's cool. I like that show. But you got, what is it? You can't pay? We'll take it away. We're Guppy, but we're not taking Sack Alter because I think we like our familiars a lot. We love Lusty Blood as well. Get me out of here, though.
The Emperor.
And we will bounce, dude. Yeah, this is a great setup. But you also, you got your peep shows and, the thick of it and etc. You got some great television programs. Canada is #3. Canadian bespoke television is basically horrible. I have pride for my country. I talk about being Canadian culture, existence, etc. a lot. Canadian television is largely really bad. There are a couple of shows, Poops Creek. People tell me that show is fantastic. I've heard good things about Kim's Convenience, but I watched a couple of episodes by accident once, and I was like, it's inoffensive, but I'm not sure if I would describe it as good, but that's okay. It doesn't have to appeal to everybody. But Canada's in 3rd, in my estimation. Australia, I don't know, because all I've seen is Border Security and then a bunch of Australian weird reality shows on Netflix. It's like, we broke up, but what if we didn't? It's impossible to judge for me right now. But what's scary about American TV? Maybe it's just the networks I watch, but American ads, every single one of them seems to me as a Canadian like a fake ad from Starship Troopers. I'm not trying to offend anybody, for one. I'm not trying to ignite political discourse, but I'm also not exaggerating. I feel like 50% of the ads are relatively normal. Hey, it's a car. Hey, it's laundry detergent. And fully 50% of the ads are like, did you breathe in Roundup? Call this number. You may be entitled to a financial settlement. Are your elbows falling off? Take Proelbanol. Side effects may include the loss of your freaking life. And it's like, okay, we want Black Rune here for sure. And we'll take it all. But it just leads you to ask the question, is America okay? You have to wonder. Because it's not like, advertising, I think, you want to talk about biting the hand that feeds here. Advertising is in some ways, I think, my layperson's understanding of the advertising industry is that some of it is, addressing a want in a consumer and then turning it into a need. The consumer is watching the ad. They want, I don't know, let's say they want more energy, okay? What you do as an advertiser, it doesn't work the same on everybody, but I'm speaking specifically because I was watching American TV, there were brands for legal, or ads for legal testosterone supplements that are sold at Walmart, and I'm just like, first off, those can't really work, right? You've got a bunch of science-y looking stuff and the bottle looks like it's made out of polished chrome or something like that. But in reality, there's there's just some zinc in there. You're not actually, that, the FDA is this doesn't work, so you can sell it. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But, you know, maybe an older gentleman's watching it, and he's like, I wish I had the kind of energy I had when I was 25 years old. And maybe he's like a professional YouTuber, and he's playing the same game for the 5,000th time. You know, maybe it's a latent belief in, like, the back of his mind. The ad goes like, you know, they just present imagery that's like, your wife's fantasizing about somebody else. You're a weak little baby. If you take this pill, though, look at this old dude with a big gray beard. He's doing push-ups. When was the last time you did a push-up? Yeah, probably like 10 years ago. But if you take our fish oil supplement, you could do as many push. You'll probably look like this guy in like 10 minutes. And they're like, dude, I gotta go to Walmart and get me some of that natural male enhancement, you know? But it's scary. Because it's like, you know, in Canada, the ads are similar, but like I really feel like the easiest way to describe Canada is it's like America with the volume knob turned down. And there's good and bad things about that. The bad things is what we're going to talk about, but the good things, you know, from an American standpoint is, you know, you get more extreme personalities, you know, the highs are higher, the lows are lower. I think, at least. You know, if somebody becomes famous in Canada, you know, they're like Anne Rankin. And you're like, who? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Susan the Blue Card, you know? I dare not risk it. I'm sorry. I dare not risk it. I'm going to the cathedral. I dare not risk it! But then the other thing, you know, like a Canadian ad is like, you know, my wife bought me this necklace. It has automatic fall detection. If I fall while I'm walking my dog, it calls an ambulance for me. Thanks, honey. Here's to living well. Then the American ad is like just ambulance sirens. Woo, woo. Has this happened to you or a loved one? Fallen while walking. Breathed asbestos dust. Secondhand smoke through orifice. You know, it's just cranked up to infinity. They're living. You know what? It's the Taco Bell philosophy down there. They're living Moss. I don't know. There's positives and negatives. Is all I'm trying to say. But American ads are. I feel like this is relatable for people that are not from America. American ads are very scary to me. I think it's not because of any huge cultural differences, but is rather because, like, the only people still watching cable are me and people over the age of 80 years old. And people over the age of 80 years old are just, like, concerned at all times and will say ridiculous things to you. You know, like, hey, if you're going out, don't go down that street or you'll be killed. Somebody was killed there 5 years ago. I mean, you might be killed. Like my mom, she's not really like that, but she's a worrier. And I've inherited a lot of that, you know, worry through her, to be honest. And, you know, here's the thing. She inherited it from my grandma. My grandma is like, she basically has some kind of anxiety disorder for sure. But, you know, she's from an era where suck it up, basically. Unfortunately. My mom inherited some of that, but through, pardon? Help! Help! I don't want to stand still, dude. Oh my god, I actually got jump scared. We got him. Oh, sorry, Tomo. I mean, that was nonsense. You know it, I know it. No! Okay, we killed one. I mean, we should have the cross helping us out at some point, right? Sorry, Mom. I want to finish the bit. My mom has every reason to be as anxious as my grandma. She's not, I think, because of the fact that, you know, she's from a generation that was more open about, you know, like, hey, mentally, I got some stuff going on. I'd like to get it sorted out. So she is, thankfully, by way of her actions, allowed me to also take that next step myself in getting there. But she does, she'll, like, watch the news, and there will be, like, a murder in Vancouver. It happens. And she'll, like, you know, send me a text or something that's like, hey, be careful when you're in this neighborhood. There's a murder there. And I'm like, Mom, I live here. You already don't have to tell me to go down Granville Street in that part of town because I'm a legal adult. I don't have to go to establishments that profit by serving alcohol to 17-year-olds. So that's step one. It's an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I don't think we want it, actually. But what's, you know, people, they perceive risk differently for other people than themselves sometimes, I think. You know, whenever, like, a crime happens in Vancouver, sometimes my mom will text me and be like, are you guys okay? And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. I'm like, why is she even texting me? There's millions of people that live here and we stay inside all the time. But then, there was a lethal stabbing in my hometown. And I was freaking out. I was like, I texted my mom, and I was like, you know, hey, are you guys okay? I just saw the news. This is crazy. Are you guys all blah, blah, blah? And, you know, she took like an hour to get back to me. And I felt like, you know, in all those young adult movies where like a teenage girl sneaks out or she's out past curfew and the mom's like, I was worried sick about you. And the kid is like, what is fine? I was just at Sally's house, you know? I was like that. But then my mom was like, yeah, you know, like 10 minutes before the stabbing happened, we were walking like right on that block. And I was like, 10 minutes? You're not allowed to go there anymore. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. That was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. See ya!